Welcome everyone. Welcome to the lecture series on Digital Electronics, third semester, Diploma ETCE. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3. I am Paulo Sridhar, the Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. So today we are going to start lecture number 21. So in the subject Digital Electronics, we are having 60 number of total lectures and the credit of this subject is 4. So at present we are in unit number 3, that is combination logic circuits. In unit number 3, there are 4 subunits. First subunit is arithmetic circuits. It consists of half adder, full adder, half subtractor, full subtractor, parallel and serial full adders. In the parallel adders, we will be studying how to do the 1s complement, 2s complement and the 9s complement additions. Next subunit is design of circuits using universal gates. Third subunit is code converters, encoders, decoders, multiplexers and demultiplexers. The fourth subunit is parity generator and checker and also comparator. Now, this subunit 1 and 2 already we have finished. So we will be starting today third subunit. Now let us move to the course objectives. This course objectives are very important because these objectives will be fulfilled by the students after the completion of this particular digital electronics course. So let us see the course objectives. The students will be able to do conversion of the number systems. Next is understand the concept of logic gates and its operation. Third is design simple logic circuits using logic gates. Fourth is design of a combinational circuit. Fifth is design of sequential circuit. Sixth, gain the comprehensive idea on various memory devices. Seventh is understand analog to digital conversion and also digital to analog conversion techniques. Eighth is understand different logic families and their comparison. So for this specific unit 3 or for lecture number 21, this specific course objective 4 is fulfilled. That is design of combinational circuits. That's why it is in red color. That is, it is a very important course objective for this lecture. That is course objective 4, design of combinational circuit. So here we will see the short lecture plan of this lecture number 21. Our subject is digital electronics. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3. So the unit we are studying now is unit number 3, combinational logic circuit, and we will be starting today the third subunit, that is unit 3.3, code converters, encoders, decoder, multiplexer and demultiplexer. So these are the topics that we will be studying today. First one is the multiplexer, then Boolean function implementation using the multiplexer. Next is implementation of higher order multiplexers. Fourth one is the decoder, and the last one is cascading of the decoders. And also we will be studying about the applications of the multiplexers and the decoders. So let us start today's lecture number 21. So before starting, let us have a quick recap of the previous lectures. In the previous lecture, starting from lecture number 1, we have seen the syllabus and also the course objectives. Next, we have seen about the number systems. We already know that there are how many number systems? First one is decimal number system, second is binary number system, third is octal number system, and the fourth one is hexadecimal number system. In the number systems, we have done the conversions from one number system to the other, and also done some complex problems in the number system, which are important for the competitive exams. Next, we have studied about the logic gates. In the logic gates, we have seen all the truth tables and also the applications, logic circuits, block diagrams of the logic gates. In the logic gates, mainly there are how many types of gates? First one is basic gates, and, or, and not. Second is the universal gates, NAND and NOR. And third one is the exclusive gates, that is the XOR and the XNOR. Here in the logic gates, we have studied about the applications of the logic gates. Next, we have gone to the Boolean algebra. In the Boolean algebra, we have learned about different postulates and laws of the Boolean algebra, and also the difference between the normal algebra and the Boolean algebra. Next, we have seen how to solve the problems or to minimization techniques using the Boolean algebra. Next, we have seen how to design the Boolean algebra functions using the logic gates, and these are very important for your examinations also. Next, we have moved to the combinational circuits. In the combinational circuits, we have learned about the adders and the subtractors. In the adders, we have studied about the half adder and the full adder. In the subtractor, we have studied about the half subtractor and the full subtractors. After that, in the circuits, we wanted to design a circuit that where both addition and the subtraction could take place simultaneously. For this one, we have studied about the parallel adder subtractor circuits and also the serial adders. So now we will be studying about the other combinational circuits. So first of all, we are going to study the multiplexer. So multiplexing means sharing. There are two types of multiplexing, keeping in context the communications. First one is time multiplexing and the second one is frequency multiplexing. A common example of multiplexing or sharing occurs when several peripheral devices share a single transmission linear bus to communicate with a computer. To accomplish this sharing, each device in succession is allocated a brief time to spend or receive data. Any given time, one and only one device is sharing the line. This is an example of time multiplexing. Since each device is using the line, this is an example of time multiplexing. Several devices is given specific time intervals to the line. This is an example of frequency multiplexing. Several devices share a common line by transmitting at different frequencies. In a large mainframe computers, numerous users are time multiplexed to the computer in such a rapid succession that all appear to be using the computer simultaneously. Now this was the introduction of the multiplexers. Now let us see the block diagrams and also the uses and the operation of the multiplexer. Now multiplexer transmits a large number of information over a single line. Now it is a combinational circuit that selects one digital information, that is the input, from several sources and transmits the selected input on a single line. So the multiplexer is a logical circuit where, depending upon the select lines, the input is selected at the output line. This is a very important line. This specific line is a very important line because, again, let me read it. So the multiplexer is a circuit where, depending upon the select lines, the input is selected at the output. Basically, in a multiplexer, what happens? The input, depending upon the select lines, is selected on the output. Now, a multiplexer is also called a data selector, as it selects one of the many inputs and shares the information to the output. Now, this is the block diagram of a multiplexer. So it is, there are n input lines, m select lines, and there is only one output signal or one output line. Now here it is written that small n is equal to 2 to the power of m. So the name of the multiplexer will be always 2 to the power of m is to 1. That is, input line is to 1. That is, input is to output. As the input is n and n is equal to 2 to the power of m, where m is the select lines. So this is the block diagram of a multiplexer, and the name of the multiplexer is 2 to the power m is to 1. That is, input is to output. Input lines are n input lines. N is equal to 2 to the power of m, where m is small m is equal to select lines, and there is a one output signal. So moving back to the next slide, we are having the basic 4 input multiplexer. That is, we will be designing 4 to 1 multiplexer. So this is the logic symbol of a 4 to 1 multiplexer. It consists of 4 data input lines, D0 to D3, that is D0, D1, D2 and D3, a single output Y, and 2 select lines, S1 and S0, to select one of the 4 inputs to the output. As I had already told you that the work of the multiplexer is to select one of the inputs to the output depending on the select lines. Now suppose, let me give you a practical world example. Now suppose all of us watch movies, and also we know the word multiplex. We already know the word multiplex. Now, what is the meaning of a multiplex? In a multiplex, many movies are going on, and I am a single person. I can go and watch one movie at a single time. That is, my moods or what movie I will be watching is the select lines, and the movies are the input lines, and I am the output. So depending upon my mood, I will be watching one of the movies at a single time. So this is the practical world example of a multiplexer. Now let us move to the lecture. That is, we were discussing about 4:1 multiplexer. So this is the logic symbol of a 4:1 multiplexer. 4:1 means 4 are the select lines and 1 is the number of the output. So this is the truth table of the 4:1 multiplexer in terms of the select lines and the output, and also the data inputs. Now see, select line 1, select line 0, and it is the output Y. So when it is 0, 0, it is D0, it is 0, 1, it is D1, 1, 0, it is D2, and 1, 1, it is D3. And I had already told you that depending on the select lines, input, these are the inputs. Inputs are selected to the outputs. So at a single time, D0 will be selected. At one time, D1, again D2 and D3. Now let us look at these expressions. Now the data input Y will be equal to data input D0 if and only if S1 and S0 is equal to 0, 0. So what we can write, Y will be equal to D0, S1 bar, S0 bar. As both of these are 0, 0, so what we can write, it is as D0. That is 0 bar into 0 bar. 0 bar into 0 bar means, let me show you here. Suppose in the first case, Y0 is D0 into S1 bar, S0 bar. That is, I am telling about this one. So here what we can write? It is equal to D0 dot of 0. What is the value of S1? It is 0. So it is 0 bar into, again it is 0 bar. Why? Because again the value of S0 is 0. So what we can write here? It is equal to D0 into 1 into 1. So it is equal to D0 as it is written here. See, y is equal to D0. It is coming from this expressions like this. Next is this one. Again we can show that y is equal to D1 into S1 bar into S0. Now what is the value of S1 here? It is 0, again 1. So it will be D1. Again let me show you how it is coming. It is y equal to, it is D1 into, it is S1 bar into S0. So what we can write? It is D1 into, what is the value of S1 bar? It is 0 bar. So it is 1 dot of S0, the value is 1. So it is D1 dot of 1 dot of 1. So it will be, answer will be D1. So in this case, y is equal to D1. So we have got y is equal to D1. Next, let us see the third case. That is y is equal to, it is given D2 into S1 into S0 bar. So let us write like this. Again, y is equal to D2 into S1 dot of S0 bar. So what we can write here? D2. Now we have to look for the value of S1 in the third case. The value of S1 is, see, it is 1. So just write the value as 1. It is 1 dot of, what is the value of S0? It is 0. So it is 0 bar. So it will become 1. So again it is D2. I hope this is again clear to you. In the third case, y will be equal to D2. Next case is the fourth case. Y is equal to D3 into S1 into S0. So what is the value of D3 will remain same, that is D3. And what is the value of S1? It is 1. S0 is 1. So it is 1 dot of 1. So it is becoming y is equal to D3 in the fourth case. I hope this is clear. Now what we can say, that if all the above terms, all these terms, 4 terms are ORed, that is we are using OR gate in between them, then the final expression for the data output, that is the output of y, expression of y, will be equal to D0 into what we can say, D0 into S1 bar into S0 bar. Next is D1 into S1 bar into S0. Next is D2 into S1 into S0 bar. Next is D3 into S1 into S0. Now this is the expression of the 4 input multiplexer or 4:1 multiplexer. That is y is equal to D0 into S1 bar into S0 bar plus D1 into S1 bar into S0 plus D2 into S1 into S0 bar plus D3 into S1 into S0. Now using the above expression, the 4:1 multiplexer can be implemented using 2 NOT gates and 4 3 input AND gates and one 4-input OR gate. It will be shown in the figure. Here, each of the 4 data input lines is applied to any one of the input of an AND gate, and the AND gate outputs are connected with the inputs of the OR gate to generate the output Y. So, like this, I've said that we have to design the logic circuit of the 4:1 multiplexer. Now, let us move to the next slide. Now, this is the logic circuit or logic diagram of the 4:1 multiplexer. Now, see, already I have told you that we are using the 3-input AND gates. These are the 3-input AND gates. We are using 2 NOT gates and one 4-input OR gate. Now, see, there are 2 select lines, S1 and S0. These are connected, and as we need S1 bar, S0 bar, that's why their inverters or the NOT gate is connected in both the terminals of S1 and S0. Next is, this is a 3-input AND gate. Here, one of the input is D0, another is S1 bar, another one is S0 bar. We have to see this expression. This expression we have to see. This expression we have to see. This one, D0 into S1 bar into S0 bar, and we have to draw the diagram like this. Next is D1 into S1 bar into S0. Next one is D2 into S1 into S0 bar. Next is D3 into S1 into S0. Next, all of these outputs of the 3-input AND gates are connected to the OR gate, and the output is Y. Now, to demonstrate the operation of the circuit, consider the case when S1 and S0 is equal to 0, 0. Now, see, if S1 and S0 is equal to 0, 0 is applied to the select lines, and the AND gates associated with D0 will have 2 of the inputs equal to 1, 1. This and this will become 1, 1. And the third is connected to D0. And all the other AND gates will have 0 in at least one of these inputs, which makes their output equal to 0. All of this will be 0. So, only D0 from here will be going to the output. So, similarly, in the second case, D1 will be going to the output. And similarly, third case, D2 will be going to the output. Because here, along with D2, S1 and S0, the values will be equal to 1, 1. Others, one of the inputs will be equal to 0. So here, all this one, and this one, the outputs will be 0. But here only we will be getting the D2 output. That is, here we will be getting Y will be equal to D2. Similarly, in the fourth case, D3, S1 and S0 will be equal to D3. So here D3 will be going, and all this 1, 2 and 3, all the outputs of the AND gates will be equal to 0. So here only D3 will be going as the here we will be getting D3 and Y will be equal to D3. So I hope this circuit is clear to all of you. So next we are moving to the next slide. That is, we will be implementing the higher order multiplexers using the lower order multiplexers. That is, first one is design a 16:1 multiplexer using 8:1 multiplexer. Here 16:1 multiplexer is the higher order multiplexer, and 8:1 multiplexer is the lower order multiplexer. Now here what we have to design? We have to design a 16:1 multiplexer using 2 8:1 multiplexers, and the IC number of the 8:1 multiplexer is 74151. This is multiplexer number 1 and this is multiplexer number 2. So here we have written that as we have to design a 16:1 multiplexer, there are 16 input lines. The input line starts from D0 to D15. See, this is D0 to D15. That is D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. Next is D8, D9, D10, D11, D12, D13, D14 and D15. Now what happens? In case of a 16:1 multiplexer, how many select lines will be there? There will be 4 select lines. How it is? Let me write it here. It is 2 to the power of 4. 16 is, just see here, 16 is equal to 2 to the power of 4. And 4 is the number of select lines. So what we can say that among the 4 select lines, we are naming the select lines as S3, S2, S1 and S0. Among the 4 select lines, S2, S1 and S0 are connected to 3 select lines to both the 8:1 multiplexer. Now we have to design a 16:1 multiplexer using 8:1 multiplexer. Now already I had told you that we have taken 2 8:1 multiplexers and there are 4 select lines in the case of a 16:1 multiplexer. So we are connecting this S2, S1 and S0 to the select lines in the case of the 8:1 multiplexer. In the case of 8:1 multiplexer, there will be 3 select lines. Why? Because it is 2 to the power of 3. The input lines is equal to 2 to the power of 3, that is 8, and 3 to the power of something, that is 3 is the number of the select lines. So in this case, that is 8:1 multiplexer, there are 3 select lines, that is S2, S1 and S0. This S2, S1 and S0 is again connected to the select lines in this case, S2, S1, S0 of the second 8:1 multiplexer. Next, what happens? Now see, while S3 is connected to E bar, input of the multiplexer, and S3 is connected to an inverter to the E input of the multiplexer 2. Now this one is the enable line. Each of the multiplexer is containing an enable line. This S3 is connected as the enable line. This enable is enable bar here. This one is the enable bar here. Again, this S3 is connected through an inverter to the second multiplexer, that is enable bar. I hope this is clear. Now see how this circuit operates. This is given in these 2 lines. Now see, when S3 is equal to 0, multiplexer 1 is enabled. And so the inputs D0 to D7 are multiplexed to the output Y. Why? While multiplexer 2 is disabled. Similarly, when S3 is equal to 1, multiplexer 2 is enabled, and so the inputs are D8 to D15 are multiplexed to the output Y, while multiplexer 1 is disabled. Now see, our main objective is to design a 16:1 multiplexer. In the case of a 16:1 multiplexer, there will be 16 input lines, 4 select lines and 1 output. So see the structure as one black box where there will be 16 inputs, 1 output and 4 select lines. Inside the black box, there will be 2 8:1 multiplexers, and this 2 8:1 multiplexers will have 8 input lines, 3 select lines. These are the 3 select lines and 1 output. This Y1 and Y2 are the outputs of the first multiplexer and the second multiplexer. I hope this is clear. Now we will see into the operation. Now each of the multiplexers contains a enable line. This is enable bar. And this enable is connected to S3 of S3, that is select line, in the case of the 16:1 multiplexer. Now suppose when S3 is equal to 0, right here 0 is going here, 0 is going, now 0 is going here, this enable bar, so it becomes 1. So you can say this multiplexer 1 is enabled. I have given this as a right sign, but this one is disabled. Why? Because 0 is going through this side. Just follow the spotlight. 0 is going through this side and there is an inverter. So it becomes, by the inverter, this 0 becomes 1. But when this goes to the enable line, so what it will become? Enable is bar. So again it will be 0. So this multiplexer 2 will be disabled. So what we will be getting in the output? In the output we will be getting Y1. That is Y1. One by one we will be getting D0 to D7 in the output. Okay. Next is the second case. Second case is, what is the second case? In the second case, S3 is equal to 1. Now when S3 is equal to 1, it is connected to E bar. When it is connected to E bar, it becomes 0. When it becomes 0, so this multiplexer 1 is disabled. Now what happens? This one is going to here. So it becomes, as there is an inverter, so it becomes 0 here. Again 0, there is an enable bar, so it becomes 1. So this multiplexer 2 is enabled. When this multiplexer 2 is enabled, what we are getting? We are getting the inputs D8 to D15 at the output. That is one by one we are getting the inputs D8 to D15 in the output through Y2 to Z. So we are getting the ultimate output. So I hope this circuit is clear to all of you. So moving to the next slide, we are having implementations of Boolean expressions using multiplexers. Now, something I will tell you, and this is very important, that if there is a Boolean expression, it is given, and there are n plus 1 number of variables, n plus 1. Let me write here, it is n plus of 1. N plus 1 means, suppose there are 3 variables, so we have to write it like this, 2 plus of 1, like this. That is, if it is having n plus 1 number of variables, then number of select lines will be equal to n. That is, suppose there are 3 variables, we can write it like this, 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, that is n plus 1. So this 2 will be number of the select lines. Just remember this one, and this will be needed in this particular problems, that is implementation of the Boolean expressions using the multiplexers. Now see here, we are having an Boolean expression, that is if in brackets is given a comma b comma c comma d. This is nothing but the number of the variables, where a, b, c, d are variables. So this function contains 4 variables. This if in brackets a comma b comma c comma d is equal to summation of mean terms 0, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9 and 15. So this problem is given, and this is a Boolean expression. You have to apply this expression using the multiplexer. So I have done it step by step, and you should also be doing it step by step, so that there is the chance of errors are minimum, or there are no errors. And also in semester exam there will be step marking in this type of problems. So please remember this thing. So first write, the function has 4 variables. How we can write it? We can write it like this. It is a, b, c, d. Now if a, b, c, d is not given, if the mean, from the mean terms also we can say it. See, the mean terms is present up to 0 to 15. So 0 to 15 means there will be 4 variables. So 4 variables means 0 to 15 means there are 16 mean terms starting from 0 and ending at 15. 16 means 2 to the power of 4. That is, there are 4 variables. So the function has 4 variables. So writing in terms of n plus 1, we can write it. So n plus 1 is equal to 3 plus 1. So we need 3 select lines. So here A, B, C, D is given. What we can write that B, C, D is going as the select lines. Now A will be going as the input. Among the 4 variables, here what we have seen that there are 3 select lines. B, C, D we have taken as a select lines and A is going as the input. Now see, the multiplexer used will be 2 to the power 3:1. That is 8:1 multiplexer will be used. The remaining A variable is connected to the input. Okay. Now we have to list the minterms and the input lines as follows. And this table is universal in nature. You have to name the table like this only. Now see, I have done some boxes like this. I have done 9 boxes. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have written D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. That is, as there are 8 inputs, so I've written from D0 to D7. And next, already I've told you that we are taking A as the input. So I'm writing the input here. First one is A bar and this one is A. This one I've written as A bar and this one is A. Okay. Next is this one. You can draw a line like this. It's not compulsory, but you can draw. After that, so just this line shows that there will be, these are the positions of 15 mean terms. So just write like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. We have written like this. Now, the mean terms that are present in the expression will be encircled. So 0 is present, we have encircled this one. 1 is present, we have encircled. Again 3 is present, 3 is encircled. 4 is present, 4 is encircled. Next 8, 9 and 15 is present. 8 is encircled, 9 is encircled and 15 is encircled. So what we have seen, we have to make one box like this, and after that we have to again write the mean terms. We have to write first the inputs D0 to D7, as this one is a 8:1 multiplexer, so there will be 8 input lines. That is starting from D0 to D7, and there are, we have written the input A, we have taken as one input, so it is A and A bar, and we have written the mean terms starting from 0 to 15 like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And next work is, we have to encircle the mean terms that are present in the expression. This particular expression, we have to see which mean terms are present. 0, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9 and 15 are present. So we have encircled this 0, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9 and 15. Next, what we have to do? Another important work is left, that we have to see and reduce the other inputs depending on the encircled terms. Now see, if both the mean terms are present, see this line, if both the mean terms are present, then the input will be equal to 1. Now if both the mean terms are absent, then the input will be equal to 0. Basically these things are the inputs of the multiplexer. We have to find these inputs from these boxes. Now what it is told, if both the mean terms are present, then the input will be equal to 1, and if both the mean terms are absent, then the input will be equal to 0. Now what we can see, that this both the mean terms are present, so we are writing it 1 here. Another explanation I can give you like this: see, in Boolean algebra we have seen and we have also learned a law, that is A, let me write here, A plus of A bar is equal to what? It is equal to 1. So this is the thing we are writing here 1. Here both mean terms present means it will be a plus of a bar, as this one is a and this one is a bar, so it will be 1 here. So just see here, as this both mean terms are present. Again, please draw this line here. So as this both the mean terms are present, so it is 1. Again both these mean terms are present, so this is 1. Again here in this column both the mean terms are absent, so it is 0. Here only the first mean term is present, that is 3. This mean term corresponds to a bar because this belongs to this a bar. So here we are writing a bar. Next 4 is present. This 4 corresponds to a bar again. So here we are writing a bar. Next, again none of the mean terms are present, so it is 0. Again here also none of the mean terms are present, so it is again 0. Here what is the case? 15 is present. 15 corresponds to a. So here we have written a. So we have got the 8 inputs. First one is 1, 1, 0, a bar, 0, 0 and a. Next we have to draw the logic circuit depending on these inputs. So making these boxes, our main objective was to find the inputs. That is, we have find out, that is 1, 1, 0, a bar, 0, 0 and a. So I hope this table is clear to all of you. Now let us see about the circuit. How to design the circuit with these inputs already we are having. Now this was the function that we had to implement using the 8:1 multiplexer. So we have drawn a black box. This is the black box. And we are naming it as 8:1 multiplexer. Now we are naming the inputs as D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. The select lines are S2, S1 and S0. As we have already told you that the select lines will be B, C and D, and A will be going as the input. And remember one thing, that here F is given, F, comma, A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D is given. That is, the output will be always equal to F. So here Y is equal to F is written. If you are naming it as Y, it will be wrong. You have to always name it as F. Next, we have to write the or draw the inputs. Already the inputs are coming from the table that we have already implemented. Let us see the table once. It was the table, that is 1, 1, 0, a bar, 0, 0 and a, corresponding to D0 to D7. Now let us draw it. So this D0 is connected to 1. Again this 1 is connected to D1. Next 0 is connected to D2. Again 0 is connected to D5 and D7. Why? Because in the table the values of D2, D5 and D6 were 0. Next is the case of D3. Now D3 was equal to a bar. So here we have written a and we have connected it with an inverter. Now this inverter will be getting a bar here. So a bar will be going to D3 and again a bar will be going to D4. Next a will be connected to D7. Let me write here. This is a bar. This a bar is going to D3, D4 and this a is connected to D7. Now see, we have implemented this whole Boolean expression using the 8:1 multiplexer. I hope this is clear to all of you. So thank you for attending today's lecture and listening to me. Again, we will meet in the second lecture. Thank you.